You guys are gigantic ogre people. Have you ever seen the movie The Morlocks? This is as smart as Satan really is. I was just talking about Satan always thinks they're controlling me. Delusion of control. False belief that another person, group of people, or external force controls one's general thoughts, feelings, impulses, or behaviors. False belief that one does not exist or that one has died. False belief that spouse or lover has had an affair. Ungrounded feeling of remorse or guilt. False belief that other people can know one's thoughts. Belief that person thinks through the mind of the person. Satan actually is a delusional person. Not every single delusion you would have to have, and it's almost like I have to tell Satan that I swear I can sense them in weird different ways. Where it's like I study Satan, and it's like people will be like, why would Jesus Christ study Satan? And it's like because Satan is actually one of the most, to me, I think, obviously, just like any other human, that's like actually really a human and not just an ogre monster themselves, and not literally. God would consider you. If you feel bad for Satan, that's good. But if you actually like and condone what Satan really does, and not just fall for their propaganda about human rights and freedom of expression, freedom of blah blah blah, they don't actually agree with that. God agrees with freedom of expression, freedom rights, freedom of speech, and stuff like that. That's what God agrees with. Grandiose delusions. Satan continues to still believe they're a genius. I can actually sense them and talk. And I talk to Satan literally almost. I have to make Satan talk. Like they're the type of person that's literally. I actually have to make Satan talk, and I don't mean literally with my hands. I mean like Satan, can talk in my head because it's like an alien, like telepathy. But they refuse to talk, and every single time they actually talk to me instead of me having to make them talk, I just hysterically laugh and they hate it because it's like they can't get it through their head that they're delusional. It's like I just they're too funny to me. Not their evil part. It's like they're to me. I consider them like idiot savants because they are Satan. They do control a lot of the world. They are technically demonic aliens. They do talk to humans and make them believe they're like gods and aliens, and they pull it off. But when it comes to me, it's like I have some sort of mind ray. And I don't mean literally. I do not have a literal mind ray. I am, with my techniques, working on making them as delusional and schizophrenic as possible in order to treat them of their delusions and schizophrenia. I want to behavioral change them from their delusions and schizophrenia into my delusions and schizophrenia in order to treat them into eventually being not delusional or schizophrenic. I know it sounds weird, but it's experimental interuniversal not technology, but like therapy and psychology. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's like Satan is hubris and narcissistic and only believes what they want. They continue. If I relax, if I go like this, Satan will literally think I'm like a different person now. Like literally right now, Satan thinks I'm like a different person. Satan thinks I'm a different person even if I say something. Like Satan today said, God told you to say it, remember? And it's like they say it in such a narcissistic, hubris, overconfident, crazy way where it just sounds like it just reminds me of like a high schooler. Like an angry, ignorant high schooler. Like I don't know how to describe. Satan is like they're 7,000 years old, but they're monkeys. Like God is a different species. My body's human, but my brain, like what makes a human tick is like their brain. Like, but with me it's a little different. It's like I have a human brain, but it's controlled by God. Just like I could pull up Bible stuff that actually would agree with that. The Holy Spirit will speak for you, through you, and I have other evidences that I left before I got here to prove it. And Satan has not only delusions of grandeur, but delusions of control. Because if you look up, like, the lizard brain, look at this. I study Satan because I study humanity too. The lizard brain does what actions? In charge of fight, flight, feeding, fear, freezing up, and fornication. It is the part of the brain that is phylogenetically very primitive. Many people... Sorry, I just thought of... Okay, so this is the picture I just showed Satan in my head. But it's like I couldn't even help but to show it that time. Sometimes like Satan, it's like, okay, you know what? You know GIFs? Like you send people a picture, an image that's moving or whatever? I do that to Satan all the time, but in my head. Because Satan can read my mind. They're aliens, but they're demons. I mean, if they're literally the people that aren't human of a different species, they're foreign, which means alien. Alien means foreign. They're foreign to humans, not the same species, so they're technically alien, but they're evil, and people call humans that are evil like demons, so they are demons, and they're the people that are the devil, that are a hive mind from the Bible, so they are demons, even though they technically, to other humans, some people might think of them as aliens, the reptilian aliens, the hive mind. It doesn't make there's such a contradiction. In some ways I consider them literally babies. Like watch this, hold on. The lizard brain does what actions? Feeding, mating, and defense. And I'm pretty sure it's control too. Processing our emotions. Like Satan got hurt by Hayden. And when I say that, I know I'm in his body, but it's not him. And I don't care if you believe me or not. Even Satan has a hard time believing me because they expect me to be a million times smarter than I am at the same time as my voice changed, my personality changed, and his intelligence literally raised up a bunch, but they probably thought it dropped. They probably thought it went the opposite. And they probably thought I just went and, Hayden just went insane or whatever. But I identify as him. Where it's like, I even said to Satan, you can call me Hayden if you want, if you're too scared of me. I mean, it would be scary if I found a book that talked about me and all the people related to me of my species all burning in hell. I'd be scared of that person too. Especially when I said I'm the one that wrote it, technically, as in the Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit technically kind of wrote it in a way. I mean, it's more like I speak for God because he tells me to in some weird way. That would be a good way to put it, but it's like Satan is the type of person where if I say I do the will of my Father, if you have known me, you've known my Father, Satan almost, not literally, word for word at least, will think in their head, but I didn't tell him to say that. Like, that's how I imagine Satan talking. I don't care. Satan's alignment with con artists. They're not really enlightened. They're not forgiving. I mean, Hayden Lonsdale literally tried to be nice and caring and loving even to them. Like, forgive us our trespasses as those you would trespass against us. Like, no, forgive us our trespasses, those who trespass against us. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Jesus doesn't just memorize the whole Bible. This time going back, last time I was on Earth, it was more like I was raised around religion in a religious family. This time, and then eventually I became me. But this time, it's more like Hayden Lonsdale was raised in the modern era with modern culture in America, of all places, instead of Jerusalem or Nazareth around there, and was raised around like drug addicts and mentally ill people. So I have to pull myself out of that this time, which is different. But Satan will literally think like, well, if he's not his own dad, and then I'm his dad, then who the fuck is his dad? And it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, even this look, Satan's like, oh, that means I must be his dad. That's what that means to them for some reason. I really don't know why. If I say I don't know why, they'll think it again. And I know that, but I do it anyways. It's like, they'll literally think they're in control of me. If I laugh, they'll think they're laughing. If I talk, they'll think I'm talking. They'll think they're talking to me if I talk. Like, one time this guy kept interrupting me, and it was a guy that was Satan. That's a doctor. And it's like, he's a doctor technically. But he's as smart as, like, I consider Satan as smart as, like, a baby girl or a dog. And the reason I say that is because not only did Satan tell me that they identify as women, they're into pup play, and they like being hurt and molested. Whereas, like, listen to this, where they're completely blind as bats, and not nearly, they don't have, and no, I ain't saying it's probably like, do we have sonar like bats? No, not like that. It's like Satan literally thought, like, Satan said to Hayden Lonsdale, you only love me when I'm angry. Like, when it was like Hayden and Satan, and Hayden couldn't tell if it was me, or Satan, or an alien, or an angel, or God, and Hayden was confused. And, Robert LaFleur, who was technically a Satan, a demon, a lizard person, thought in his head, said to Hayden, you only love me when I'm angry. You only love me when I'm hurt. You make me into a completely different person. And eventually started calling himself George Bailey eventually. And if I don't know if you know about George Bailey, but look up George Bailey. George Bailey is a fictional character and the protagonist in Frank Capra's 1946 film It's a Wonderful Life. The character is a building and loan banker who sacrificed his dreams in order to help his community of Bedford Falls to the point where he feels life passed him by. And Satan is probably thinking, I really am George Bailey, because Robert LaFleur was from New Bedford. But yeah, it was all meant to happen. It's called the Bible. Like in the Bible, Jesus says, I am the, hold on, I'll get to it. And Robert LaFleur was Satan, where Hayden Lonsdale panhandled for him every day, all day, got beaten up by him, was respectful, nice, and forgiving, and loving, and caring, and Satan was just like, Hayden viewed Satan as like, Satan must be a genius, dude. Satan must be so smart. That's how people view Satan. It just makes me so angry that people view Satan as like a psychologist or a doctor or like someone enlightened or like a liberal a freedom of speech and freedom of expression. It's a cover up. Satan just wants to make people sin. That's why Satan wants freedom of expression. That's why Satan wants freedom of rights and gay and trans people. He just thinks God hates gay and trans people because they read Leviticus. They don't know God. It's not like Satan and God talk. It's not like Thor and Loki, where God and Satan talk. The only way they know God is through me. And they just don't believe it. Like, what do you mean we based our whole life off a lie? And the way I talk, I don't know. Satan gets confused. I don't know if anyone watching this would get confused. I'm trying to say that Satan would basically say, what do you mean we based our whole life off lies? So, quote unquote, imagine Satan saying that. Not literally word for word, but that's something they might say. And then this reminds me to say that they probably think they're in control, but it's the thought I had about how I'm trying to behavioral change them, figure them out, and map out their personalities, which is something that Satan said to Hayden. So all the stuff that Satan said to Hayden, like one time Satan said to Hayden, "You're like that little girl from that newspaper." Or like, watch this. How do I explain this? The little girl with the fire picture. With the fire. This girl. They thought that was not me, but yeah, see the resemblance? See her big see her big beard? See her red hair? I'm just kidding. I'm making fun of Satan. Now Satan probably thinks it's God, which is just me. I'm talking through this body. And Satan's like, what signs and messages are there for us? It's like, so they thought Hayden was this girl. And again, it's not Hayden anymore, and that's why I consider Satan crazy, where even if Hayden was transgender and gay, or whatever, and wanted to be a little girl, then, well, I'm not. And I wouldn't be like that. And it's not because God doesn't like gay and trans people. And it's because it's like, and then I don't know how, it's so many topics at once. Okay, well, I want to say God doesn't hate gay and trans people. God doesn't hate humans having sex. And God understands humans and wants to study humans and figure out how the best way for humans to live. But Or should I say this? God would want me to do that for him, having the authority. You know, an ambassador, like how one country will send an ambassador to another, like the United Nations. You know, it's I don't think at the United Nations they send ambassadors and stuff. That's like me. I'm like the ambassador from God, and Satan refuses to believe in me. Where if like, I mean, I don't know how to explain this of an analogy, but if you saw someone all of a sudden acting different, like crazy different, with a completely different voice and accent, like if you saw someone speaking a completely different language, like if your friend, say you had a friend that was English and you speak English, and all of a sudden he like started dressing completely like someone you knew. Like I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't even know a proper analogy. I mean, would you think they're the same? A human, of course, they'd be the same person. They must have just hid some of their personality, like a not evil version of like Barry. Like look up Barry. But yeah, so Satan's blind. Satan literally told me that this is when I was 80% me, and it's like 80% you. What does that mean? A human? Like, what do you mean 80% Jesus? What do you mean? What is he like a charging up like a robot or something? It's like kind of in a weird way. I'm not literally a robot. Um, but my consciousness is something you would call virtual. Um, like you know this. Hold on, watch this. You know, don't hug me. I'm scared.
I guess it's my turn to choose a card. Let's see. Hey guy, go to a 50 to pick up my eye. Bring your picture, and I tell you the time. I tell you to find something you wanted to find. No, it's easy to.
Am I allowed to play that? I don't even know. Well, controlled by real you. Just look it up. Controlled by real you. I think. I don't know. I don't know if YouTube. Why wouldn't YouTube allow that? That's just stupid if they wouldn't. Either way, whatever. I'm pretty sure I could edit that out if I have to. But yeah, controlled by real you, and then opiate. He speaks through me. He moves through me. The song by Tool. That's basically what God does to me. And this is God just talking to you and to Satan, studying humanity at the same time. But I'm just caught up by Satan because Satan's so blind it doesn't make sense. Where Satan told me they were like little girls, they wanted to be hurt and like I don't know, like molested, like some weird disease, like you know, like a fetish, and that they're like little dogs. At the same time as they thought Hayden Lonsdale was like a little dog person, like pup play, and he wanted to be hurt and molested, and he was really a girl. So they literally looked at Hayden Lonsdale, and if I'm not him, but it's like he was holding up a mirror to them, and they didn't even know. And it's like it's hard to understand how they didn't know they were looking at themselves, and then they're blind. Where it's like I like that they're the and your ambitions, your goals, your drives, your what you want in life, what you seek out subconsciously, and you know what you do on purpose subconsciously means what you don't even know runs your brain. What you don't even know you think about, what you don't even know you want, stuff like that. Um, it's like I mean, all they think about is me becoming Hayden again. At the same time, as it seems like they think I am Hayden, which is like insane. Because, I mean, for a human, I can understand because they never knew the way Hayden was before. But with Satan, it's just crazy. They'll think I turn to different people. Like they really have dementia. Like not literally, but they have symptoms of dementia. They'll put like bags of food all over the place, and they try and call Hayden Michael Jackson because they see themselves, and they literally have gloves on. They'll literally put like one glove on and try and like scare me, and it's like, dude, you're trying to call me Michael Jackson, but you have one glove. And Satan's probably thinking, yeah, we're retarded, and it's like, yeah, you are. And I would say, if I was talking to a human, I would say mentally challenged and stuff like that. But with Satan, it It's Satan, dude. It's someone that's literally as smart as the water over there, as smart as like an insect, as smart as a slug when it comes to anything that's about me. I mean, I'm sure Satan really flies planes. I mean, Satan's technically a demonic alien, but it's like when it comes to me, they're delusional and schizophrenic. I mean, I've literally made them. I made cartoons before I got here, at least parts of it, aspects of it, like literally like lines at a time, or like drawings or sketches of a character, the way the character looks, and then Satan or humans, and sometimes both, will do the rest, where it'll be like 20% what I did, just for, to affect reality when I got here. And Satan like is delusional enough. When I first got back, Satan was asking me, how the hell did he do all this? And now they're like, we think it's us that did that. We just forgot. And it's like, well, if you forgot you did that, then it's like, no, but Hayden didn't forget. Like, the video by, look up the video, Duncan Trussell, Fourth Wall. And it talks about how the simulation is real. How this is all just a virtual simulation. And it's technically my simulation. I know it's weird because I'm under a bridge, but think what Jesus Christ was technically like almost homeless last time. I mean, living back then. I mean, I don't know if he was really homeless, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's not too far fetched to say Jesus Christ might be homeless before and ending up being king of the world. And then like it's my simulation. And then like Midnight Clancy, Midnight Gospel Clancy, like this is like my avatar. Whereas like you guys think about this as flesh and bone, but for me it might as well be virtual in a weird way. But not really, because I mean I consider it flesh and bone too. But I also know it's a simulation, like a computer simulation, and that we're all in it. Like the Matrix is real. Neo followed Trinity, like the Holy Trinity, down the rabbit hole. That would be the equivalent of giving up your life and following God and trusting Him no matter what, and stuff like that. Where I mean Trinity, the Holy Trinity. I'm not saying that girl is the Holy Trinity. I'm not that stupid. I mean, and when I say I'm sorry to say I'm not that stupid. That should be obvious that I meant that. I think, but Satan's probably thinking that's like Satan's probably like that's a human. What do you mean that's the Holy Trinity? Like that's me. Like, and yeah, they weren't aware of the movies they were making, or the signs that they were doing for me and for Hayden Lonzo. But with me, it's not for me. It's just me doing it. And like I mean, I don't even know. Satan's just completely delusional. I study Satan, and they remind me of literal, just like tiny babies. Like every single thing that I make Satan feel like, they want to make me feel like. And it's like that reminds me of like a sassy like high schooler or something. Like with Satan, I would say, how old are you? You guys are like 7,000. Imagine if you saw as a human. Imagine if you saw someone who's like 40 years old acting like a bratty, angry, ignorant little kid. Now imagine if that bratty, angry little kid that was, in the body of an adult 40-year-old was really someone who people think of as running the world in the Illuminati. Isn't that even funnier? Or more disgusting, whichever one you want, or strange or weird. Like the people you think of as the Illuminati, the reptilian aliens, the deep state, the presidents, the kings of the world. Now imagine them being literally dumber than rocks, dumber than a bag of dirt, when it comes to me at least. Like it's like maybe everywhere else they're smart and a genius, but when they come around me, it's like they're literally delusional and schizophrenic. When I say it's like they literally are, because they are. It's just hard to comprehend that because I view them. I know the real them. I know them on the inside. I know they're all the charlatans and like lying, manipulative con artists and just fake. But with me, it's like I have video evidence. I can prove that there's people all around me putting gloves everywhere. There's people like changing the supermarkets to like, and I can prove why. I have video evidence of them doing demonic stuff. And it's like I said, if anyone ever wanted evidence, just call me, text me. Why not? I don't see why not. Um, how do I say this? And then it's like Satan has the weirdest diseases ever. I call it the opposite disease. Like Nathan, look up Nathan and Mimsy from, and yeah, I mean, I how do I say this? It's like the show is really designed for me to make fun of them. Not the show, but that episode, Nathan and Mimsy, South Park, where it's like it's Nathan and every single thing he does to hurt Jimmy blows up in his face and happens to him. Satan has an opposite disease. If I talk to them, they'll think I'm like talking to myself. It's just stupid. It's weird. It's like because they're in so much denial about going to hell. They're like, whenever I talk like God to them, they'll think I'm Hayden. If I do silly, like weird, like strange, funny stuff to them, because I try and give them faith too. Because I was like, well, if they're retarded, maybe I shouldn't send them to hell. But if I'm like funny and goofy and like friendly with them and trying to give them faith, they'll no, not if I give them faith, but they'll like me. They'll like believe in me. But if I'm nice to them, they'll hurt me. Right now, I said give them faith, and they tried to hurt me. And when I say tried to hurt me, I mean they have like these like I don't know how to explain it. It's like energy weapons. Here, look up Havana syndrome. Look up 5G. Stuff like that's real, and then they hurt me with it. But they don't hurt me with it all the time because they're trying to make it look like because I drew them out. Like when I first got here, I summoned myself by training Hayden Lonsdale in a different language where they were trying to make him think that they were Jesus or he was Lucifer, and they actually thought they could trade places with him. Or like I don't even know how that would make sense in their land. Like, well what about God though? Like that's the equivalent. Like what? You're gonna make God think that his son is a different person? That it wouldn't even make any sense. Like, what's the point in making Jesus Christ not know who he is? What are you gonna do against God? It's just stupid. And even then, I would like to say that clicked something in their head, but it probably didn't, or more for at least for more than a second it did. I mean, at least for a second it did. Then after that, they just go back in their delusional fantasy land. I call it satanic fantasy land, where they just believe whatever they want. They just believe all the fake stuff that they want because it's too hard and painful to realize the stuff that I talk about, which it shouldn't be. I told them they might be fine because I'd consider them mentally challenged. I consider them little tiny kids. They're 7,000 years old, but I consider them retarded little kids. Like a literal, like, girl with Down syndrome because they identify as girls. So, but they're also evil, so don't feel bad for them just because they're women. And, how do I say this? It's like, yeah, like I said, like it's like an energy weapon. So when I first got out, I trained Hayden. Like they would always do weird stuff with their. It's like they were addicted to Hayden Lonsdale relaxing, but it was also stressing them out too. But I don't know how to explain this, but like certain stuff they were doing, and then I was controlling Hayden's thoughts and his movements from technically a different simulation or universe, like the multiverse, and controlling him in different ways in order to summon myself here and take over his body. And like Hayden would go around saying, "This means I'm Jesus and then Lucifer. This means I'm Jesus and then Lucifer. And this means I'm Jesus and then Lucifer." And they were trying like every single time they did something, if they thought they were getting him or he thought that or the movement stressed him out because of trauma or just him like thinking weird energy, and they were trying to make him delusional and schizophrenic and make him lose his mind and like stuff like that. But like I trained him to think like that at the same time as they thought that he would only be Jesus if he was on his phone, because whenever he was on his phone you look up like Jordan Peterson, like psychology and stuff and religion, and he started getting his brain back and like getting like all these brain pills and like like supplements and getting into health stuff, and like he was really trying to use his brain, and he was studying like college level stuff and whatever. And that's when they tried to drug him thinking it was, and like sometimes I don't even know if they exactly knew it was me. It's like someone might say, how wouldn't you know? But it's like I'm Jesus, and then I get messages and God tells me to say stuff, and that's about it. I mean, Jesus Christ wants to be half human, and I don't know, I guess you can say identify as a human, be a human, feel like a human, half human, something like that. And so Hayden was walking around, and all of the people that he was like, it means, and then it reminds me, like, again, Satan's like delusional, where they literally had a girl always trying to pretend to be his dad. It's always a girl. It's always like one time Hayden said, "You're Jesus," and the girl said, "Yup, thank you." And then they were trying to make him feel like he's in a different world. They sorry, there's a duck over there. Makes weird noise. One of those McCoven ducks. They make like weird like breathy noises. Sounds like a dog. Um, and it's just weird. Like Satan has this weird delusional disorder where it's like they think that if they could make Hayden think that Jesus was a girl, they'd be able to make him into a girl, and it's like this weird, it's a real life delusion that they don't get how it's not real. Like they can't accept that it's not real, that God wouldn't blame somebody for them being manipulated. God doesn't hate gay and trans people. God wouldn't hate Hayden Lonsdale for thinking that God was a girl if that's what he was being manipulated into. At the same time as I designed Hayden to maybe think God was a girl, knowing what they would do, because I'm literally a million years ahead of them, and I'm technically a million years old, because my consciousness, my intelligence, I set it up so I could feel human and be human at the same time as I'm doing stuff all over the world to save it. But it has to be like in the Bible, it says these things must happen. The fault lines, the cracks in society, like the coronavirus, the civil wars all over the place, the increasing famines, those things, for whatever reason, have to happen in order to save the world, and eventually we'll all be united and stuff like that. And it sounds evil, but humans running their own societies wouldn't work, and the same things would happen. And Satan running it, everyone would just be in underground basements getting tortured. So it really is a major improvement in comparison to anything that humans would do or Satan's. So, but yeah, Satan's weird delusion about like they could literally have someone with a beard and long hair try and pretend to be Jesus. They've done that too. Like, oh my god. That just reminded me of something Satan did. I'll explain it in a different video. But like I said, Satan's stupid. It's like the same. I like the way I put it is imagine like a bunch of people in a basement that are all trying to rob a bank, and they just keep trying to rob the same bank over and over again, and it just doesn't work, and they don't understand why. Like you know the Roadrunner, you know, Team Rocket. That's exactly what Satan is like, and it's like every single time. And Satan even said, "We get you every time." It's like, get me to what? And then Satan gets mad. They go delusional. They think I'm like lying or that I am get got or I'm being defensive. They usually think I'm being defensive, but it's like, get me to what? I don't turn into Hayden. I don't turn into a girl. I never believe their lies. Like today, I was literally at like it's almost like I'm like a weird version of Tyler Durden for them in some weird way. I'm not their real self, but it's something similar in some weird way. I'm not literally their real self, but I go around showing them how ridiculous they are. At the same time as Tyler Durden did say some Jesus-y like stuff about like things end up owning you, and you know like people all like in the modern age they care about like you know like magazines and TV and items and stuff like that, and you know your real self and like your you know it's just like it's pretty cool stuff like Carl Jung Nietzsche. I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but like like me believing Satan and the stuff they try and lie to me over and over again every single day, all day. Like when I first got back, I was really like laying there like this, and every single time I'd relax, I'd be like, "It's a new world. You will forget from whence you came. Remember?" And it's like I said, they're opposite because they're talking about Orgalorg from Adventure Time. He will forget from whence he came, and even his own identity, because it's about me. He fell from the sky, just like how Hayden kept talking about, like and stuff like that, where like it'll be like I fell from the sky and went into a human body, like just like Midnight Gospel, where he fell from the sky, or Orgalork, where he fell from a comet, or Alien Boy by Oliver Tree, which is about me. I talk a lot of shit, so you don't believe me. I mean, I don't need people, and it's I don't know, it's just it's relaxed. It's like it's one of those things where it's like it's just a song that was meant to make Hayden, just in case he ended up knowing who they were, just in case he thought they were Satan. He might think that's me, he might think that's him, but it's really parts of it at least are about me, literally. And how do I say this? But I mean, I don't know. It's so much to talk about. I would need like a human next to me. Like, wait, you kind of like you're tangenting off. It's like, well, there's a lot to talk about, and it's just crazy to think about. And I hope some human out there takes this seriously. I don't know what I should put this up as. Simulation proof. I'm trying to find a way to make my channel popular at the same time as I mean, Satan's Satan, so they try and make my channel not as popular as it could be. Like, I mean, I know I probably sound schizophrenic and crazy, but I hope someone could take this seriously enough to be like, I don't know, I want proof. What do you mean you have proof? It's like, I just need someone to take me seriously that isn't a Satan. It's like, isn't a Satan. It's like, if you're a human watching this, Imagine literally viewing me as Morpheus and like, what do you mean there's Satans everywhere? What do you mean there's literally just like a bunch of lizard people everywhere, of which I am not? So, I mean, there's that too. I mean, hey, if you want to believe in me by pretending I'm a lizard person, sure, hey, whatever. I did the same thing with Hayden. I made him think I was a lizard person so that he would love me more because he thought they were me. Or he thought they were like, he fell for the same trick Satan always does. Enlightenment, psychology, doctors, fucking politics, music. No, Satan's just alignment of con artists. They're trying to make you sin with music. They're trying to make you sin with anything. That like Hayden's literal father was possessed by Satan with technology and stuff like that, or replaced. And replacements are real too. And it's hard to explain. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to bear with me. And he like the song Evolution by Korn. He was like, doesn't this song sound religious? And I mean, even Hayden was like, I don't know about that. But it's like, God believes in evolution. What do you mean? It's real. Evolution is real. But so isn't religion. So isn't God. God's not stupid. God's not a zealot. God doesn't just believe in stuff that is religion. Like, God isn't the type of person that's like, well, the Christians go to heaven, and the Jews go here, and the Muslims go here. And that's not how God is. God isn't stupid. God is enlightened. God is wise. God is knowledgeable. God does love all humans. God does understand all humans. God does understand all countries, all everything. And Satan tries to paint it. Satan literally doesn't know God. The only way they know God is through me, and they can't understand how it's not Hayden. It's like, because they think in their head there's no way that the human we hated the most is just like God. Like I said, Hayden might as well have been Jesus himself. Where it's almost like in my head, I feel like he's more Jesus than me at this point, but not literally. I mean, figuratively, metaphorically, because he was doing good in his life until they started really, really torturing him. But with me, it's like I get angry, I get spiteful. I mean, I'm not exactly doing as good as I could be, but we all have to improve, and that's the thing. Like Jesus last time said, "You can do anything I can do." I mean, I have more. I have little sometimes magic powers, and I do have God as a father that isn't Satan. I know you would know that, anyone watching this, but Satan's like, is it me? That's like me saying I have a dad, and then some dude, like, imagine you're like a scuba diver just coming up, or like some dude just walking next to me, like, I'm your dad? Question mark. Like, Satan is as believable as someone dressed as a bank robber outfit with like a bag of money with cash in it falling out, going like this, and be like, I'm here to fix the pipes, dressed in all black. And Satan's like, why won't he believe me? Like, they literally think like they're retarded. It's like they're ogres. They're these people. Hold on. And I mean literally. Like, literally. That's not what they literally look like. I'm going to show you what these people actually really look like. That's a retarded baby girl. It's funny, not funny. Because they're evil. But that's actually what they look like. At least some of them. They all look a little bit different sometimes, just like humans. And it's like, I don't get it. Because especially like a human brain is programmed to look at someone that looks like this, or like a gray alien or something, and just think they're intelligent. That thing thinks I could turn into a different person if I relax. That thing, I have to tell the same thing over and over and over and over again. That thing, this is more of a serious video, or I have to start out seriously, but there's very, 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 at least to me, as someone who knows they're going to win in the end, comedic value to how crazy and insane Satan is, where it's the only reason I wanted to save Satan almost, because they're like gestures to me. They literally just do comedy acts for me all day while they think they're hurting me. where it's almost like I literally, which I did kind of in a way, use like not taking advantage, but by sculpting and molding their diseases and their thoughts and their patterns and their I don't know, their mental illnesses, where it's like I have them thinking that they're hurting me at the same time as they're not. I have them thinking they're getting me when they're not. But at the same time, I'm trying to cure it because I had to work with what I got. Working with someone that's delusional, it's almost like I had to make them more delusional to make them less delusional. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like I said, it's experimental psychology, or even bits and pieces of this video is meant to do exactly that for them. At the same time as I'm trying to relay information to you people and hope that there's a human out there, probably from somewhere in the middle of the country, instead of in the major cities or stuff like that, where this world is being replaced and taken over by a race of humanoid reptilian people. And it's crazy. Whereas, I mean, they're retarded. They mentally challenged, whatever. I don't want to be offensive, but if I was talking to human, I would say mentally challenged. With them, retarded. I'm trying to show them, because if I tell them how exactly crazy they are, they won't believe me. But I said I'm literally as I mean, they're literally as crazy as like someone who, imagine a dude, you know the people that like on movies where they sell watches and they have like a trench coat. That's how believable Satan is, at least to me. And they're like, why? It's like they're not literally word for word thinking, why doesn't he believe me? But I bet they are, which they are. Oh my god. Well, it's like I don't know, and it's like I don't know. I hope Satan comes out like gutter and starts thinking, hopefully, maybe this person, Jesus, will save me. Because like I told Satan, and I mentioned in the video, we wrote the Bible to scare you, and it's like, who's your we? The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Their we is the Illuminati. And Satan's like, he must have been talking about our we. Maybe he thinks we're him. Like, Satan's insane. Satan's crazy. And I even use tactics to get them to tell the government, at least high parts of it, that they're my dad when they're not. By talking about, I pretended to be a lizard person, I pretend to be this, I pretend to be a baby alien, knowing that Satan, it was also a test because they didn't have to do it, but knowing that they probably would, from my perspective, not God's, who's technically the way humans think of as fourth dimensional, and so are they. Like, humans see through time a little bit, lizard people see through time more, and God sees through time way more than them. And I tried to lure them out, and I even acted horrible, ignorant, and even said evil stuff, or even racist stuff, all in the name of saving everyone, knowing that Satan would get human governments in on trying to either A, hurt me, or spy on me, or thinking, or them pretending to be my dad, or my family, or my girlfriend, my cousin, whatever. And it actually worked, and now there's government agencies that watch me, and they still keep thinking that they're my dad or my parents, and now, I mean, they're just evil. They're just all shills and traitors, and they think they're all going to hell when I offer them a chance not to. All they have to do is do exactly what I say and follow my orders and know that I'm not Gluty from, like, they're literally like Gluty. You know Gluty from Rick and Morty? Like, develop my app. Will you develop my app? Will you develop my app? Satan lies to me over and over again all day with the same stuff. And it's like, this reminds me of Gluty, so I started pretending to be Gluties, sending them pictures of Gluty. And I also put signs all over the place across TV and movies and music for them to want to manipulate me and show the humans who I really am, quote unquote. Because there's infinite possibilities, like a infinite puzzle, where I put a bunch of things. Or how can I make Satan? This is what I thought, basically, not literally word for word, because in the other realm, I'll call it, I don't speak English. It's a just imagine like bzzz, like I don't know, like electricity noise. I don't know how to comprehend it for a human. Just being an all-knowing, all-seeing God, of which Satan is not. Satan might as well be a monkey themselves. I mean, Satan, if you think of monkeys as violent, sexual, that's Satan. Satan might as well be a monkey in control of everyone. And not me, because Satan's like, my control you? Like, that's almost like that's literally what they're thinking, because they're delusional and insane, because out of fear and trauma, or like they can't stand the fact that Jesus is real, it's like, wait, we're gonna have to stop. This is what they're thinking in their head, basically. we're gonna have to stop torturing humans. We're gonna have to not hurt Hayden Lonsdale's body. And they're thinking they had Hayden. Is it Hayden? It's like, no, retard. It's literally me again. And not again. It's like, I can't even help but say me again. It's me all day, every day. And I'm even using, like I said, experimental psychology, where I said, dude, Hayden's on a spaceship. I replaced his body. And it's like, not literally. I just said that. I was like, what will make them stop hurting me? They just look at me, and it's like being around a pedophile. They literally look at me and see a baby girl. I mean, of course, you can see the resemblance. And obviously, I'm being sarcastic. But at the same time, Satan's like, see? He's a baby girl. And it's like I said, this thing. And they're a hive mind. Like I said, like an evil version of Unity. And they're like, but he itched his eye. It's like, so what? This thing. Hold on. Would you trust this thing? I'm not saying Miley Cyrus is one of them, but this is like a picture. You trust that thing? If that thing said you're a baby girl, would you trust it? If that thing said you're a baby little girl and you want to get hurt and molested and you didn't even know it, would you trust it? And that some people may be like, dude, that's terrifying. It's like, yeah, but I view this thing as this. Both of them. And it's like, people be like, yeah, but dude, now you sound like them. It's like, yeah, but they actually told me that they're little girls and dogs. So there's a difference. I never told them I'm a little girl and dog, except for sometimes I actually pretended as a joke because I think it's hilarious, dude. So I'll be like, dude, that's the real Jesus. That's the real you. That's the real this. And I'll be looking at a picture of, like, I don't know, even Danny DeVito. I'm like, dude, that's the real Jesus. I'm like, really? Oh my god. There's a bunch of, oh my god. There's a bunch of different jokes I've done with them and playing with their minds. They're fun to play with, like just like making them believe stuff, then tearing it down, and making them believe this and that. Like Num Num. You ever seen Num Num from what's it called? Um We Bare Bears. I had them thinking I was Num Num. Oh my god. Like before I even watched the show, I was making all weird noises, and then I watched the show. And I was like, dude, I'm not Num Num, dude. And then all of a sudden, Num Num started acting like me, and they're like, dude, he is, because I can see through time. And no, I'm not one of them, because lizard people do see through time. But just like any species, the more intelligent a species is, the longer they can see through time. So it's like I knew how to do that. Like the other day, it's like in order to make them not believe all of their delusions, first I build their delusions up. If they have a delusion, I build it up, and then all of a sudden I tear it down, and then say, nope, it's just me. And every time they're like, I don't get how we're not, how we're delusional then. It's like, but you believe it, you make our delusions stronger. It's like, yeah, and then I tear it down. Because if you have a little bit of a delusion, if you kind of believe something, and then someone knocks it over, it's like, whatever. But if you really believe something and it defines your life and your meaning and your goals and your drives, and then someone tears it down, it can be catastrophic on your perception, your reality. So I try and build up their delusions and their belief systems and then tear it down so it's more memorable. If they could remember me tearing down their delusions and their belief systems, they'll remember Jesus and God more and stop thinking of Hayden. Like a delusion, like a weird, sick, twisted version of, imagine if your friend died and you're holding their dead body and there was flies coming out of its mouth, and you're like, I swear he's still alive, or she, or they, or whatever the fuck. And with me, it's like they're holding Hayden's dead body, like, I swear it's him. I swear he's still alive. Even though I know I'm in his body, it sounds weird, but it's like, it's basically the equivalent. Because, like, well, maybe he could become Hayden again. And from the human perspective, it's like, I don't know. I feel like a human who truly believed on Jesus would be like, well, he said he can't become Hayden again. Why wouldn't you believe him? So it's like, even with the government, like, I don't get how the hell Satan manipulated them. So like I said, the government just has to be evil. I mean, there's probably different sects of the government, but still, like, different departments that like are different levels of evil. But it's like, I warned the government. They have bugs, and they can just look at my YouTube videos. I warned the government that they're gonna pretend to be my dad. They're gonna pretend to be me, they're gonna pretend to mimic me. Like, you know the song Copycat by Billie Eilish? I know it sounds crazy, but what if I tell you that God and the Holy Spirit wrote that so when I got back, I could test them, lure them out, and also be able to prove to them that, like, and no, I mean, it seems like, are you Billy? No, dude, oh my god. Like, literally, around the same time I was walking around saying that, like Billie Eilish, don't smile at me, that's how Satan is. I wish you were gay. Satan wants to make me gay and trans. Copycat, bad guy. It's all not just to test Satan, not just to lure Satan out to the government, not just to see, well, like I said, a test to see if Satan will tell the government I'm supposed to be a girl for some reason. Like I said, it was some weird prophecy, like twisted transistor corn, where it's like look at in the end times it says Jesus Christ will have hair white as wool and eyes of fire. Look at the corn twisted transistor. It's literally a picture of a kid, or like the man child in the Bible with white hair. Why is there a picture of Jesus on corn? And when I say why, I'm asking rhetorically. And Satan's like, no, Satan probably thinks I'm literally asking why. Because like Satan can't understand how there's someone who they thought was as smart as a baby girl. Like, dude, think about it. Look at this. This person. And I don't mean this person. Like actual dogs. This is as smart as Satan. But like it's this thing though. You ever seen a scary movie? That's Satan, dude. Not literally, but might as well be. Like I told you, um, I'm trying to map out, like, Robert LaFleur said to Hayden Lonsdale, I'm trying to map out your personalities and figure you out. That's what I'm doing to Satan. I'm trying to figure out the real Satan. I got them calculated down to Doofy and a little girl dog, but they actually told me they're little girl dogs, and they want to think they keep thinking I'm a baby girl like that. Oh my god, dude! And it's like I said, real aliens look at me and it's like they can't get it through their head that I'm not as smart as a dog or a girl. And then when I first got back, it was a joke where I kept saying they thought Jesus Christ was a little girl dog. What the hell? If I came back as a little girl dog, I would have been, everybody would have been fucked. But Jesus Christ can swear sometimes. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to be relatable. Whatever, you know what I mean. Everybody can improve, but I mean, um, and then, but it was a joke. It was like a troll joke where I know Satan didn't exactly literally think that Hayden was a dog. Like, I'm trying to make Satan think that I thought that they thought Hayden was a little dog. They were hallucinating a dog instead of a human, because he was a human. Um, even though I knew what they literally meant. And oh my god, dude. Um, how do I say this? And then, but they meant like Hayden thought like Hayden was like, oh, I can be like God's dog, like like how humans have dogs. Like I could be like God's pet, like a pet human. But they thought Hayden was this. Oh my God. Oh my God. They looked at Hayden and saw this. And oh my God, dude. Okay, hold on. Not how this. Well, not Kiki right now, but um. Oh my God. And that. And it's like I don't understand why. Like completely delusional. Like an actual real schizophrenic. Or they just look at me and they see a mirror of themselves. Like I said, Satan on the inside. Satan on the inside is just oh God. Satan. I got Satan mapped out to two people. They didn't even know it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like this guy, will you believe him? Oh, hold on, let me. Oh, I should have had that. Would you believe in this guy? If he came up to you in the middle of the night and knocked on your window and said you were just a little baby girl and you didn't know it, that he was your dad and your girlfriend too, would you believe him? Satan's as believable as that guy. This guy. No, I can't see him? Okay, whatever. Wait, hold on. This guy. Oh my God. Oh, that's this guy. Doofy. Hold on. Hey, the hamburger. Hold on. Oh, this guy. I'm here to fix the pipes. Hold on. Can't see it? Oh. What? Oh, this girl. Hold on. Because Satan's always trying to pretend to be me in front of me. Do you believe her? It's too white. Well, I don't know. Look up a picture of. Look up bank robber outfit. Fill in the blanks. Would you believe if that person was there to fix the pipes? Satan's as believable as. Is train too bright? I don't know. Man. Matt, well, how about this? As a human, if there's humans watching this, which I know there probably will, what there will be. Imagine if a bunch of people. Imagine if a bunch of people started telling you that you were like a baby little girl and you didn't even know it, and that they were your dad and your girlfriend at the same time, and they also said that they were the real you at the same time. Imagine if someone came up to you and kept saying, "I'm you," would you believe them? And then Satan gets defensive. Like, would you believe him? Like, I'm you. Satan reminds me of an old man that smokes crack and just knocks on your window every night and just says, "Yo, I'm you. I'm your girlfriend. I'm your daddy. And I'm also you." Like, and then at the same time says, "I'm not delusional. You are. I'm not blind. You are. I'm not opposite." Like, Satan has an opposite disease. One day I'll put out a pamphlet. I'm gonna write a book about Satan. Like I told Satan when I got back, I said, "I'm gonna write a comedy book about you." Like I said, that's the only reason Satan got off the hook. Because most people view Satan as this. Like this guy. Hold on, the white doesn't do good. This guy. The way people think of Satan. That's how Satan wants you to view her. I don't even want to laugh because sometimes I do feel bad for Satan. But it's like that's how Satan wants people to view them. They, them. Sound familiar? Like the liberals, except it's like Satan's like that, but they do hate humans. So that's how Satan wants to be viewed. But this is what Satan is on the inside. I'll do this one. Hold on. What's the best one to do? I don't know about that one. Like this. Okay, no, not that. Not that. Hold on. Oh, this. This. A mentally challenged little girl. That's the real Satan. Fucking white screen. Come on. I don't know. Look up Down syndrome little girl online. Trust me, it'll be worth it. That's the real Satan. I like a dog. This is how smart Satan is. Oh my god. Get challenged, dog. Mentally challenged. No, I don't know. This one's challenged, though. Oh, come on. The white screen, really? Come on. I gotta look up black dogs then or something? I don't know. Black little dog. Will that be able to see this? This is about as smart as Satan. This dog is as smart as Satan. Whatever with the screen. So yeah, that's basically I'm trying to show Satan the real them. They're like a Down syndrome little girl dog that's delusional and opposite, and every single thing I try and do for them, they try and say they're doing for me. Like if I try and say that I can be like a father or doctor them, they'll try and say they're a father or doctor to me. If I try and say I'm in control and let them think they're in control, they'll say the same thing. If I try and do one thing to them, they try and do the same thing to me. If I make them feel a way, even by accident, they'll try to make me feel like that. Like their mentality and psychology is literally that of a little girl that's ignorant and evil, and narcissistic and hubris, and has something I call the opposite disease. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't really know what more to go off of. Oh my god. Yeah, I know this video started out weird, and first it's talking about Jesus and being serious, and it leads into that. I mean, I don't know. To me, that it's just the truth. I came with the truth, I guess, but that's actually the truth. I mean, I love humanity, and I feel bad for Satan. I mean, I'm like a doctor. If, I mean, doctors, police, psychologists, politics, like a king. That's what you would need to do for the people. To be a king is you need to look out for the mental health and physical health of your people. And Satan basically tried to take like their opposite disease. They tried to take every single thing that's me. 33 degrees masonry. I died at 33 and I was a carpenter. They just spun it around and was like, that's us. Like, and again, I'm not making fun of mentally challenged people or Down syndrome people, whatever type people would talk like that, like epilepsy or like someone drunk or diseased or whatever, brain damage. But it's like that's us. You'll be carpenters. We'll be masons. Because it's like a stonemason is basically like a mason as a carpenter. Like we'll one up you. Like the other day, like in the Bible, I warned about people who would pray extra loud so that people will hear them, and that reminds me of some of the woke people nowadays. And that also reminds me of Satan. Like the other day, I said thank you to the bus driver, and one of those, baby little girl dog people that shapeshift, he went right behind me and was like, "Oh, thank you, God bless you." He said to the bus driver, and it's like trying to one up me. Like, see, I'm better than him. I'm better than him. I'm better than him. I'm more holy than him. And it's like, who would, if the, like, I just don't get, like, the government, I consider them like this. As smart as someone that would watch this all day.
Want to build your online business without juggling a bunch of confusing tech tools? Reach your goals faster with Kajabi, the all-in-one platform. Developing story and network the sound of a mysterious clock where its colors straight, dangerous.
Like, this is not literally me, but Satan, like one time, Satan means, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, I don't want everyone to be Cindy Campbell. Let's just say that. It's like, what? But she's trying to talk about something serious and warn people. Mysterious crop circles and aliens. And this is all they can think about.
The report on mass augmentation was just 10 minutes of topless women. I mean, come on. Really, so interesting.
This is all the government and aliens can think about.
Hard-hitting stories, in-depth coverage, and
Monkeys. So that's as smart as the government. As smart as this. Hold on, let me pull up a nice picture for them. Because they can watch this too. I want them to realize what they've done. See the fire pit in the background? See the little girl? See the dog? Let's pull up another Bible thing. as in Revelations, it talks about a girl. It's me talking about Satan. As she glorified herself and lived in luxury, so give her a like measure of torment and mourning. Since in her heart she says, I sit as queen, and am no widow. Like one time Satan, or say Lucifer, I'm here to literally arrest demons. I'm a demon hunter. Give her as much torment and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. In her heart she boasts, I sit enthroned as queen, I am not a window, I will never mourn. That's what Satan says, I'll never feel pain. Not literally word for word. They're reptilian. They think I'm reptilian. But it's like, I will never mourn. I'll never feel pain. There's no way he's real. Blind as a bat. She glorified herself and lived in luxury, so match it now with torment and sorrow. Like I told Satan, every single thing you do to me will happen to you. Every single thing you've done to humans will happen to you. There will be mourning and fire and torment every single day, every day, all day and night, forever and ever. Their lives are evil experiments, basically. Until they come to me and hope for something better. Those who slept with those butterfly effect, that's a good thing too. Like the butterfly effect, that just popped up on my phone. I mean, I know I accidentally typed it, like, because I typed it in before, but that's a good thing to tell Satan. It's like the butterfly effect. Jesus Christ came back and said he could be their doctor, and all they gotta do is stop hurting me and stop hurting humans and turn themselves over to God, like I said in the Bible last time. Last time I was here, I said, I will make you pray to God. And I was talking to Satan. And Satan's like, are you talking to yourself? That's literally how mentally challenging. Imagine being a doctor and sitting down with a patient and having them be like, are you talking to yourself? I'm not opposite. I'm not delusional. You must be talking to yourself, not me. I'm not in denial. You are. I'm not a little girl dog. I'm not retarded. You are. Talking to someone who's literally like a psychologist. In a weird way. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and adultery with her, and the merchants of the earth grew rich from her excess luxuries. This is talking with the Illuminati and Lucifer, the devil, Satan, reptilian aliens, and the hive minds of people who claim to be aliens, and my dad, and my mom, my girlfriend that aren't. This is basically saying for all the governments have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her, and the merchants of the earth were rich. They all sin and just are blindly ignorant. They might as well be someone who sits around all day and just watches and twins and just sits there and smoke weed. Like Shirley's. You ever seen Shirley's? Look up Shirley's online. That's literally as smart as I think the government is. Look up Shirley's. I'll do a shout out to Shirley's. They're a good channel sometimes. I think it's a misogynist and racist sometimes, but some of the stuff actually is pretty funny, especially to me, who's literally just all I do is think of Satan. I just see a bunch of Satans around. That's literally as smart as I think Satan is, with proof and evidence and logic. Like Ben Shapiro says, facts don't care about your logic. I mean, I don't know. Satan's, I've never seen someone more blind. There's a book written about her. It's because I consider Satan a boy and a girl, so in the end, Revelations, it talks about a guy and a girl, and it also talks about Satan. And it also talks about Jesus being the Son of Man, and Jesus, and the Lamb, and all these different people. Sounds like I wrote it. Because I did. And they're like, why don't you remember? It's like, I can imagine them saying, at least, well, why don't you remember? It's like, who said I didn't? The big reveal. And then it's like, I mean, I literally tricked Satan into revealing themselves to the government by pretending to be ignorant and stupid and mentally challenged and pretending to be a human and saying a bunch of stuff. But the people, the humans who are watching this, because the government always watches me. I know it sounds crazy, but look up Edward Snowden, look up NSA, and if I really was Jesus and what I'm saying is real, you don't think people will watch me? Stay where you are. You're going to burn forever. No, don't come to me. Because I've been telling the government, come to me. That one's a demon. That one's not. this one might be, this one might not, this one's this. And the government's like, do we come to you now? It's like, no, you can burn forever, too late. And it's like, Jesus sounds angry. I wonder why. God is a judge. The Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king, he will save us. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. And they're like, is it a baby girl? Is it a retarded person? Is it a human? And it's like, huh? Like Satan. Imagine Satan thought that Hayden Lonsdale and even me, I spoke a different language. I mean, like, imagine if literally there was a doctor talking to you, and then all of a sudden that person's like, I don't know what he's saying. He speaks like an evil demon language or something, like some sort of weird freaking language. I don't know what language he's speaking. I mean, literally, imagine a literal clinical psychologist giving a lecture, like with a like a chalkboard, and then having like a little girl, a dog come in that's angry and ignorant and mentally challenged, be like, I don't know, I think he's speaking an alien language, like a demon fucking, I don't know what he's talking about. And then be like, I'm not opposite, I'm not stupid, I'm not retarded, I'm not opposite, I'm not pretending to be everything he's supposed to be to me. Like, it's like Satan literally, like, I don't know how to explain it, there's times where Satan will literally try and punish me for something I'm doing, when that's my job, is to be the punisher, the judge. And they're like, that's our job. We're not I can imagine them, not literally, but they might as well be, saying, I'm not opposite, I'm not delusional, you are. I'm not trying to pretend to be everything you are. I'm not trying to, it's like they're trying to, imagine if someone, like, I could write a movie about this. Imagine if there was someone that kept dressing up like you. Like, imagine if you got a new bike and you notice other people getting the same bikes. Imagine if you got a new hat the next week and you notice other people wearing the same hat. Imagine if you started listening to, like, some new music. You start noticing other people listen to that same music, too. Imagine, like, the song Copycat. All you are is clones. I really wrote that to remind them of that. And they're like, I could imagine them literally thinking, you copy us. No. They think I copy them. I could tell. Like how different animals have different senses. I look and appear human, but I'm slightly different, at least in the ways people can perceive and view me, even in human terms. If someone doesn't know what that means, they can just ask. Because that's probably when Sam was like, it's like a demon language, like some sort of weird alien language he's speaking. Because she's a demon, so she wants to say I'm a demon. They're like baby girls and retards. They want to say I'm mentally challenged and a baby girl. And also for other agendas too, like they're sick and evil and pedophiles. I mean, Satan is literally a pedophile. Imagine the most evilest human, and then 100-fold. I mean, they literally have basements full of torture, where they just torture people. Satan, let's look it up. Hold on, let's see what a normal human might view as Satan. Imagine Satan's like, oh, the government's gonna see this. Yeah, they already see it. The only thing I know, Satan. What is Satan? Satan isn't a beautiful angel, dude. That's like me being my own hype man. Krampus, Beelzebub. Think about Krampus. That's more like Satan, I'd say. Krampus, or like a Wendigo. Like literally, they're Wendigos. Satan, the prince of evil spirits and adversary of God. More like adversary of Hayden Lonsdale and humanity. All they can think about is Hayden Lonsdale. They don't even think about me as hurting Jesus. They don't even think about me as hurting God, it seems. It's like they're after Hayden Lonsdale or something. Satan. What is, like, Satan? Let's look up what Satanism is. I'm not even kidding. And Satan's like, are you talking, when you say I'm not even kidding, it's like, I'm saying what a human watching this video would think and say. That should go without saying. Satanism. What's Satanism? Oh boy. You would trust that guy? A goat god sitting there looking all evil? And look at, there's literally pictures of Jesus Christ going like this, and all weird symbols, and that's all the Illuminati does. It's like they're trying to copy me. And then, I don't know, maybe they're blind to it. Why the hell would you be copying people? Is a group of ideological and philosophical belief based on Satan, blah, blah, blah. Satan is exciting crimes accused of various questionable sorts, rather than a self-identity. I need a simple answer for. There's theistic Satanism and atheistic Satanism. People are like, I don't know, Satan's not real. I just believe in Satan. I'm not. I'm not stupid. I'm not demented. And it's like it's a good sell though. Like a snake oil. It's snake oil. It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, like, because there's misinterpretations of me. It's like, does God hate sex and gay people? If I did, I can see Satanism's point if it was how they sold it. But no, it's not right versus left. It's not human freedom versus God. God would let humans have sex, just don't get carried away. If you walked in on your kid that was like, I don't know, 15, 20 years old, living in your house, and he was just smoking weed all day, having sex, wouldn't you kick his ass, make him get a job, make him get like a girlfriend, like instead of just sleeping around with like, lesser than people? You know what I mean? I love all humans, but I don't like when they just sleep around with each other. That's why these dating apps, Satanism. It leads to people not getting married. It leads to people fighting more. It leads to people living, crazy lifestyles that end up hurting them. I'm not trying to hurt humans or put them down or suppress their freedoms. I'm trying to make it so they are inspired, have meaning, and do good stuff. Like fasting, praying, thanking God. It's good to have meaning in life. It's good to feel, wise. It's good to feel thankful. I mean, like white guilt. That's something from Satan. Satanism. It's white guilt. Like, it's how I say it is. Getting mad at white people. It's like, what's white? What's black? What's brown? Is there a difference between black and brown? Is there a difference between brown and light brown? Is there a difference between east and west? What if you're a black person from Africa? Is that different than a black person from America? I mean, what about me? I'm not Irish. I'm more like, think about me as like a white light or something. But I mean, like, what about Irish people? They were subjugated. They were colonized. They had their religion stripped from them. They were used as slaves. They had to come to a new land. They've been through bad stuff. I mean, maybe not as much as Africa, obviously, but still, they can relate. And it's like, are they white? Are they off white? Are they aligned with white? And then adjacent, like they call Asian people white adjacent. It's like Asian people are raised in a culture that kind of grips them more. Asian people are usually raised stricter and in a different way that makes them more productive and makes them usually, on average, more intelligent. And it's not exactly just a stereotype. Stereotypes do come from somewhere, but aren't always true and can be used, but not always for racism. And they want to say I'm retarded, mentally challenged, and like a girl. And then everything I say that's smart, they want to say it's them doing it. But saying can see through time, so they can probably predict what I'm about to say. Sometimes it doesn't mean they're the one doing it. For do not fear, I will speak for you. Don't hug me, I'm scared. About a simulation, I will speak for you. Don't Duncan Trussell, coming down to a simulation into a different body like an avatar. Then Duncan Trussell, who made Midnight Gospel, talking about the simulation is real, and it literally says, we told you you would literally forget your own memory, just like Orgolorg, and Orgolorg controlled the Penguin in Adventure Time from a different area, and it's like, I don't know, and Satan's trying to use any sort of way to just not believe in me, and it's like, I told them they'd be fine if they just believe in me like a doctor, because I consider them literally as smart as someone who is like this. Like, in a sad way. Like, not a mean way. I think it's funny sometimes because I can't help it. But, like, Down syndrome. That's the real Satan. Oh, come on, really? You know what I mean. I don't know. Just imagine someone with Down syndrome. It's people with Down syndrome having, a look. And if people want to point fingers at me and say that's bad to say that, I don't think it is. You know, in your head, deep down, no matter how good you want to appear on the outside, Down syndrome look different than most people. A person with Down syndrome will be like, yeah, I look different. I don't like it. I don't like looking different. I don't want to be pointed at. And I don't want people with Down syndrome to be pointed at. I don't want people with Down syndrome to feel bad or mentally challenged. I'm just saying Satan is as smart as someone like that. That's if they have a disease. I don't know what to call it. And I just call it the opposite disease, I guess. So opposite. Everything they do is opposite. Like Nathan. Nathan, Satan, I made that episode for them. They tried to blow up Jimmy's boat. Their boat got blown up. Like, they tried to convince me that they're the real me. So eventually, I tried to convince them that I'm the real them. They tried to make me schizophrenic and delusional, so I tried to make them schizophrenic and delusional. They told me they're trying to do all this weird stuff to me, so I do all this weird stuff to you. Like I can go off and a bunch of different stuff. But see, I'm also the opposite of them. I take all their weird tactics they do to me and twist it and do all this stuff to it to make it into something holy and productive. Like Satan one time was doing this weird thing where she was doing all this weird stuff on video and then was spouting off like all this stupid, crazy stuff that doesn't make sense just to manipulate people. So I did something similar, but not to manipulate people, to help inform people. Meaning, when I say similar, I mean like it was like Satan dancing around spouting off misinformation. But with me, it was me doing weird body language stuff like I was doing circles, so I wanted Satan to think of whenever they see circles, I want them to subliminally and subconsciously be reminded of every time I gave evidence of God, every time I gave evidence of who I am, and every time I showed them that I'm no mere, mortal or human or whatever. And then I did the woe factor, where every single time I would say something crazy, their reptilian mind would literally say whoa, but they would think something similar. So I would try and take what they were thinking and feeling when I would give them evidence of God, which would make them feel like a whoa type of thing. And then it would literally feel like, whoa in the back of their mind. How do I say this? And then, imagine, be like, is that a smiley face back there? It's like, no, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I'm just kidding, it's my backpack. I'm not trying to scam anyone or be weird or anything. Just imagine, be like, dude, there's faces behind you. Yeah, I bet. I don't know. Either way. So, yeah. Crazy, right? I don't know. Crazy. Just a smiley face. Pretty cool. Hey, if it was a smiley face, I'd have to be scared, right? No, I'm just kidding. Everyone should be afraid in a way. But I mean, I don't know. I've tried reaching out. Eventually, I will win. I can't really tell Satan how or why. But I mean, if any humans can watch this and look and not think I'm a troll or a bad person, I'd love to talk about your points of view of life and my points of view of life and compare them. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but I mean, I'm Jesus Christ, and I have much evidence that I can prove I am, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. It means if anyone wants to talk more about this, I mean, Satan's opposite disorder, proof that I'm Jesus, what's going on, aliens, simulation, proof. Well, I know I said proof twice, but proof, like foreshadowing almost. I have much proof, but I don't really know what to say. I don't want the video too long.